What's up, Kissables? This is the Kissable Diva, your love coach and your date night expert, where I plan dates for busy couples. You are now listening to the Kissable Nights podcast, where we discuss everything love, sex, and relationships after dark. Thank you so much for listening in today. This is our second episode of the fourth season for this year. And today I have a guest. His name is... Can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Marc Phillipe.
Thank you for coming on today's show, Mark. So we're going to get into the topic as you've already read. How did you know that she was the one? But I wanted to talk about the red table with Jada and Will, her daughter and her mom, Gammy, as well. So my takeaway, did you see that?
I didn't see it, but I heard little bits and pieces from the Breakfast Club.
Okay. So basically, at the Red Talk Table, it's a show that is on Facebook with Jada and Will. Well, Jada, her daughter, and her mother. And this particular episode, they had Will Smith on. And they said they want to talk about all of the rumored things about their marriage. Mm-hmm. He went through quite a discourse. I learned a lot about them. I really appreciate them, like, shedding light on the positive things that they've done in their marriage. So this is the one thing that I took away. They said that there was one point where I think he said that he had Trey on his lap. They were at a party where it's like family and all of that around, and had Trey on his lap. And I think Jada cursed at him, and he said that he took a newspaper and he hit her on the head, like bopped her on the head. And he told her, that he wanted to see her. And if I find the clip, guys, I'll insert it here. But he told her that he wanted to see her and, talk to her. Mm-hmm. And he told her, if you feel like you have to curse at me, then we don't need to be together. And he was dead serious, because he said that he grew up with his father beating on his mother. Oh, okay. And that's something that he just did not want for his life and the woman that he was in marriage with. He said that her eyes, she was like, you gonna break up with me for that? And he was like, yeah, it's over. We're done. And so she said, her eyes welled up. And then at that point, they understood, like, they went to communication classes, and they learned how to communicate with each other without anger, without being angry. And if they were angry, he communicated, I am not in the mood or in the mind state right now to talk to you. And I thought that was so awesome, especially for them being a African-American couple, where most of the time stipulated on television, it's like families fighting, but they still love each other, they still together, and they take all this abuse, but they can actually take a positive turn and, take those communication classes, because sometimes that's not taught, to you growing up. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, being that you want to be with somebody, you got to, of course you got to have your boundaries, but you always want to let that person know things that really, really bother you.
Right.
You really want to get that out of the way, just let that know, hey, this is starting to get serious, so if they don't already know, hey, this is some things I don't like. Mm-hmm. Things I like, you pretty much generally know. If you know what I'm saying, by that time, they'll already know. But, just really get to know that person and have them realize, the things you really don't like. Mm-hmm. So, if they have a problem with that, they could work on that. Mm-hmm. And if they don't, then, it may rarely happen. And for you as the other person, you got to realize, all right, if this rarely happens, and then, it does, I can't really get too offended, because it's not like a everyday or every week occurrence.
Right. So I thought that was a great takeaway, and something that I will use in the future when I'm working with couples. So today's topic is, how did you know that she was the one? And currently, your relationship status, you're not married.
No.
But you are in a long-term relationship.
Very long-term.
Do you feel like she's the one?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
So you think your next step is going to be marriage with her?
Yeah, we've discussed this already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how long have you been in your relationship?
Don't kill me, ladies, but 8 years.
Why would the ladies kill you?
Man, you know y'all ladies, y'all be like, bro, see if he ain't put it on by 3-5, you know, I'm out. And I'm like, look, you have to understand every couple's, you know, their dynamics of their relationship is different. So, you know, I know she was like, and I'm like, look, we're gonna get married. Understand this. It's not gonna happen soon. You know, let me do this, because I know for me, I just feel like there's certain things I want to attain in life before I get married. You know, and like she understands, but then at the end of the day, she's still a woman, so she's like, well, see, and every once in a while, she always feels the need to bring it up, and I'm just like, why are we having this conversation? We already talked about this. You know, you good. You know, we like I said, we already talked about this. Why we keep talking about the same thing over and over?
Well,
again?
I think it's more so, even though that you say, it's almost like, well, you're going to be able to have that cake, you know, after dinner. But it's almost like you don't know when you're going to have that cake, even though that you know that you're going to get that cake. So, I mean, maybe it's more so reassurance that she's looking for.
Yeah, and that's what she pretty much said. I'm like, I understand, but if you got to hear about this every so often, you're going to get tired of hearing about it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you should do like little small things like giving her a card, you know, just let her know that you are still on that same path that you both discussed, so that she doesn't bring it up. You know what I mean?
No, she'll always bring it up, because as women, that's what y'all going to do. I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. Because at the end of the day, she said, look, like recently, she started to like flowers. So she was like, well, you know, you don't send me flowers. And I was like, well, I remember one time I picked you up late and I got flowers. You're like, why'd you give me flowers? What? And she's like, well, you know, I like flowers. And I'm like, okay. So it was like really not too long ago, probably like 3 weeks ago, I got her a bouquet of flowers saying, I love you. You know, hey, it's just because it's a Monday. And then she's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, I know, I still love you. Yes, you do. Okay, you know this.
Okay. So now that you've already established, even though that she reminds you, because she hasn't received the ring yet, which is understandable, but she reminds you.
Yeah.
What were the things that were confirmation for you that she was the one that you were going to marry?
One thing, really, like, she just stuck around. And, you know, we've been through so much together. It's just like, why wouldn't I? You know, I really love this person. Why not go be with her? But, I mean, even things with her, when she realizes, like, she pays attention to, like, the smallest details, like that. Like, I didn't even know, like, maybe I gave out a hint or something, or I just did something and she picked up on that. And she's very much so a loving person, like, not even just because we're in a relationship together, but just family, friends. You know, she always wants to see others do well. So she takes time to, like, okay, so what is it that you, oh, you trying to get help with this? Okay, I'll see what I can do. Like, she's always trying to help people. And then, you know, I can't get mad at her, because that's something you truly appreciate in a person. You want to see that person do well, but she's helping other people. It's like, well, you know, these are good quality traits that you see, so, you know, why not one day get married?
So, one of the quality traits that you saw in her is that it has a willing heart to help people.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just so you know, don't move that too much, because I'm hearing something, so don't move that too much. Okay. So, just so that those listeners out there, Kissables, if you're listening, just to give you some tips, or, you know, to know that she may be the one for you to marry or be with for the rest of your life. So, would you consider her your best friend?
Definitely. I mean, if I don't give her enough attention, she'll let me know. If I don't do, things she doesn't like, she'll let me know. But then she's, how you doing? How's your day? I mean, you know, obviously we do that together, but it's mostly she doesn't want to tell me about her day. So it's like, yo, my day's all right. So what about yours? No, I don't want to hear it. And, you know, I've gotten accustomed to that, even though I'll still ask, because, you know, it may be that one time he don't ask, and then, so you won't never act? And I'm like, look, see, when I try to ask you about your day, you get mad at me. You say, I don't want to talk about it. So don't get mad. But definitely.
So some of the characteristics of knowing that that's your best friend, you are able to be yourself around them.
Oh, most definitely. It's like we like pick up on each other's things. Like, for instance, like her favorite number is 8.
Mm-hmm.
So if we exaggerate something like, well, you do this about 8 times and this, that, and it's just like little things like we'll pick up from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Then, you know, just spending quality time and, you know, not really getting bored with the person, even though there are going to be times where it's just like you're tired, like leave me alone.
So your best friend, you feel like you could be there yourself around them. It's also good when you're able to tell and express yourself
definitely
fully.
Yeah.
To your significant other. What else? What other characteristics do you think?
I mean, you got things like I said earlier, picking up on the small details, having that person just do, you know, the little things, or just I forgot what I was about to say, but just having that person realize that, hey, you know, that I'm going to always be here for you regardless of what's going on, and vice versa, because you want somebody always to make sure, you know, you have their back, they have your back. But even when things are going good, even when things are going bad, even when things are just okay, you know, just always knowing that it's a reassuring aspect where they have your back.
So would you say that you're willing to marry into her family?
So it already feels like it.
Yo, it's been 8 years, so yeah, it already feels like that. So like when you brought her home, like, how did you know, okay, I'm bringing her home, this is the one I'm going to bring home? Like, how did you know that?
I mean, I remember we were in college, and it was classic 2010. We were like, she came and she stayed in the hotel room with me and the other people in the band, and my mom came to the room, and, you know, my mom met her. And that, you know, the next week was Thanksgiving, so I brought her home with me for Thanksgiving. So, you know, my mom really liked her, so it wasn't too much of a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people that get in relationships, they feel like that person brings out the best in them, right? And it kind of makes you want to do better at whatever you're working on or working at. What is it about her that makes you want to be better?
I mean, just the way she treats others, you know, that really, she has that motherly aspect to her without her being a mother. You know, she's, oh, you need something? You need help? Like, for instance, her best friend just moved down here. Her best friend has 3 children. So, you know, we're playing, or I'm not saying play, I shouldn't say play, but, you know, we're godparents to those children. And I could see, even though sometimes she has some things from her mom, like, hey, and I'm like, oh, bruh, I don't need you to be your mom. But she has those aspects where you could tell she's motherly, you know, come here, what's wrong? Okay, you know, just the way she shows empathy towards children that aren't hers, even though she deals with kids every day on an everyday basis, you know, just seeing that from her lets me know, okay, you know, I see these qualities that you have.
So what about that makes you want to be, like, what brings out the best in you?
You? Oh, sorry, I didn't get out. But
no,
I mean,
you did.
To be honest with you, it's like, for instance, I look at her and what she does. Like, right now, she's in school to get her doctorate, even though, like, we try to make it to where it's like, right now I'm about to finish up my master's. So we didn't want to be at the school at the same time, but she's like, I'm looking at her, I'm like, dang, you know, she out here getting it. She's, even though she's helped me with some things with papers and stuff, like, I can tell, like, she's really pushing me, like, don't just be average, you know.
Okay.
And even though, like, I don't ever want to be average, even though, like, I've already had that established within myself, she's just more so like, no, you could do better. She, you know, she's one of those people where, I guess because her mom has done it with her, so it's just like, I don't know is not an answer. So if I say I don't know, she's, oh, you need to explain yourself, because she doesn't want me to be complacent and just being like, I don't know, and then that be it. She just wants to, you know, what is this? Explain yourself.
Right.
You have a reason. So I mean, she really wants me to be better, and I can see that. So like that's something I'm truly thankful for, because you could have people out here just like, all right, well, you good.
Right.
For real, and keep it pushing.
Right. No motivation at all. Okay. So, is there any advice that you would give to anyone that's in a relationship and they're trying to figure out if they are the one, whether it be male or female? What advice would you give someone if they're trying to get that confirmation?
I know my mom told me this, and I never did it because I didn't see the need to do it. But I mean, on like, take a sheet of paper, fold it in half and write good qualities and bad qualities. If the good outweigh the bad, then that's one factor. Just being around a person, getting to know them, you can tell. Just being around somebody, you can just be like, okay, I genuinely like this person. I could see a future with them. Or you just like, maybe this relationship will just run this course and we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know in the beginning you mentioned that that she's the one that you want to marry, but you said that you want, kind of have your ducks in a row, have things lined up. Would you say that that's pretty much all men that want to have, pretty much their money and everything that they want to do in life kind of lined up before they settle down?
I'll say most men, because not all men, think alike. But I'll say most men, they'll definitely want that. Because it's like, I don't want to ever feel like I'm inadequate, or I'm not providing, or,
right.
just those manly, traits that we're supposed to have. We always as a man, it's like, nah, I got to do this. I got to make sure I'm providing. I got to make sure, everything's up to par, money's straight, all those things. You want to make sure you're able to provide it, just in case, like, for instance, if something happens and she can't work, that you're able to provide, or, vice versa. But more so on the man, it's just one of those things that, you try to obtain to what a man is supposed to be, even though, people's definition varies. But, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. We're not done yet, though, because you do have to do our hot seat. But just to recap for those that are listening, just a couple of things to help you confirm whether the person that you're with is the one. Being a best friend, knowing that you can be yourself, that you're able to tell everything to, that you just are just able to express yourself freely.
Any and everything.
Any and everything. Right. And someone that you could bring home to your family, and that you also can be brought home to their family as well. And, can see yourself being in that family. Exactly. Because, a lot of people, they fall in love with the person, but then they, not really the family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then the third thing is making sure, or I believe being with anyone, they should be bringing out the best in you. Sometimes, you're in a relationship and it's kind of stagnant, and then when you get out of it and you get in the next relationship and your eyes are just opened up to so many opportunities and things that you did not know that comes alive in you, and you're so encouraged and want to do more, just so that you're better in life. And I think those are the type of people. That's why I loved Jada and Will's interview so much, because they knew that was a person that they were supposed to be with, and they propelled in life once they got together, because they knew that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought that was that's why I brought that up in the beginning. I thought that was really good. So yeah, so that's pretty much all the tips that I want to call you Mr. Merrill.
That's cool.
I am Mark Half for today of How Do You Know That She's the One. So at the end of the show, we like to do a couple hot seat questions. So I'm going to ask you some of these questions. Now, you can just, you don't have to elaborate. I don't need you to elaborate, because it is hot seat now. You can't think about it too much.
All right.
All right. So What is your love language?
I actually did it Saturday, but I forgot. I think it was physical.
Oh, physical touch.
Yeah, physical touch.
Okay. Do you know your girlfriend's?
I believe hers was physical touch as well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They like to feel up on each other, you know.
All right. What attracts you to certain people?
Their vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously their physical features, but I mean just their personality.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to be with somebody who's cool and dope, you know.
Okay. What is a deal breaker for you in relationships?
I don't know. I really never thought about that, but I guess if they're always loud. No, always. No, I mean, I understand.
Wait. No, if they're always loud?
Yes. Like, for instance, I don't need you to always be on 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Just always hype.
Yeah,
always
lit,
turned
you
up.
know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Certain times you need to turn up, you know, not all the time.
Okay, I got you. Name one of your strengths.
Patient. Patient.
Okay. What are the top 3 most important things in your life?
Family. I mean, that would include my girl too. I don't want anybody to think that. So family, friends, it's important in my life. Always trying to ameliorate yourself, trying to make yourself better.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Was that 3 or 2?
No, it's 3. I said family, for my girl, friends.
Mm-hmm.
I guess family, friends could be 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess I need a 3rd. It's important. Making sure that I'm helping to leave a positive, be a positive, or leave a positive, lasting impression on others.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is your guilty pleasure?
I got a lot. Sneakers. I love craft beer. Sleep. Laziness.
Oh, okay.
No,
Well, you can't be lazy trying to be great in the world.
I know. And that's what be killing me. I be thinking about it. I'm like, man, you gotta do more.
What turns you on?
You mean sexually?
Okay, we can go there.
Just being freaky. In general, you know what I'm saying?
Is it a visual thing? Could you
No.
is it a thought? Is it
Okay, so
perfume? Is it?
no, it turns me on. I mean, this my girl's body. I'm like, ooh, you look good. You know, sometimes you see, I'm like, no, it's certain. It's just like certain things about her. You know, it's like sometimes when she has, I don't know. For me, sometimes like just seeing her with her glasses on, I feel like sometimes she look better than she does with her glasses on with makeup at times. Not to say her makeup not on point, but it's just, you know, when you really,
It's a turn on.
Yeah, it's just a turn on.
Something different. Okay, I got you.
Like you're looking natural.
So last one. Tell me one thing no one knows about you.
I'll go way back. I used to be a Boy Scout. No, for real. For real. I started out as a weeplos in the 5th grade, and then I became a Boy Scout.
Did you have a lot of badges?
Not really, because I started later on. Because it's like you start off. I forgot what is it. You start as like a Cub Scout, but then there's like different ranks depending on your age and grade. But and then I was at like the top before you actually became a Boy Scout.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't have as much.
Okay. Well, thank you, Marc, so much for participating in the hot seat.
No problem.
Thank you so much for coming on to the show. I really enjoyed you.
Thank you.
Really good. And Kissables, I hope you got a lot out of it. If you have any questions, just hit me up at kissableretreats.com. And you should be able to send or comment on the blog, because the blog will be talking about this particular show. And yeah, do you have any
anything else to say?
Yeah, anything else you want to leave with people, or any social medias, or?
Okay, I'm gonna leave some knowledge.
Okay.
Make sure the person that you really want to be with, like, even though sometimes you can't help it, just because about your actions or things like that. You know, make sure you really just can't think of not being with that person. You know, because I know me. If I, like, for instance, I didn't say I did it because I didn't do it. But, like, if I were to cheat on my girl, like, I know I had that guilt in me. It's like, I did this. Like, and it would kill me. So it's just like, make sure you don't want to hurt that person. Because, like, I know, like I said, I don't think I could do it. Because then I already know. Because if I feel like I cheated on her, or excuse me, I did cheat on her. Let me rephrase it. I don't want everybody to be like, oh, you cheating. But if I were to have cheat on my girlfriend, like I said, I had that guilty feeling like, damn, like I'm messing up, for real, because it's like I don't want to see her hurt, and I know she doesn't want to see me hurt, but it's like I definitely don't want to see her hurt. So just make sure you keep things like that in the back of your head. You know, is this really what she don't like? But as far as social media, you catch me on Instagram, being procrastinator, not really posting, but I post every once in a while. It's Locks and Bow Ties, LOCS Bow Ties, and Bow Ties. That's pretty much it. Don't stalk my Facebook. I'm not famous yet, but when I am famous, just know, don't slide in my DMs.
Oh, okay. One more thing that I wanted to drop on these episodes, and that is the date night idea of the week. So this date night idea of this week will be, once you've had dinner at home, maybe you want to do this first before you have dinner, before you go home, do a dessert only date night. So pick a place, and it doesn't have necessarily have to be out anywhere. You can buy all the ingredients before you get home, after you have dinner, and just make sure that you have that quality time with each other. Or you could pick a place where they have unique desserts and just plan to go out and do a dessert only date night. I think that is a really cute idea, and it is a way to just be a bit different, you know, instead of just always quote unquote doing dinner. All right, Kissables, thank you so much for listening to the Kissable Nights podcast, where we discuss everything love, sex, and relationships. I am the Kissable Diva. I am a love coach and your date night expert.
Thanks for having me on.
Make sure to tune in every Sunday at 8 p.m. And if you want to follow me, my Instagram is at Kiss Retreats. That's KISSRETREATS, Kiss Retreats. And the website is kissableretreats.com. Thank you so much. Have a good night. And remember to keep it kissable.